And being it's AtlanticScrum, it's Sam and Michael and Thomas, and apologies for a slightly late start there. I was busy extolling the virtues of open source to a colleague and got carried away, as I often do, talking about open source. So there we go. I'm going to try to screen share. It looks like the Hangout connection worked this time, which is good. Here we are. So let me check in with Thomas. How are things with you?
Just fine, thank you. Not much to report since the last Scrum. I've been away on another job today, so I haven't been able to work anything on any of the projects.
Yeah, you're going to have more time starting in October, is that right, Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll have more flexibility then. Good show. Right.
At least I will start another project, but I will have more freedom in terms of internet access at my work and stuff. So yeah.
Sure.
More available.
Good show.
But I've been following the discussion on the AV102 channel.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, the previous TAs, are they? What should we answer them if they ask whether they should join or not join this?
I think they can if they want to. They're certainly more than welcome to. I mean, I think also people who completed the previous run are more than welcome, I think, to join us as staff on the AV102. Although I don't really have any resources to add them and incorporate them, but I think, that's great. Yes, I mean, I think some of them may think that we, had time to completely revise the material, and there's lots of things, but I really don't have any time to do anything other than just re-release the existing material. So yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Okay. Well, not much from me, apart from I'll be trying to work tonight on pinpointing the errors we are getting.
On website one, sure. Yes.
Yeah, and no impediments right now.
Good show. All right. Let's go to Michael. Check in with Michael. How are things with you, Michael?
Fine. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
I guess you can go to John while.
Okay, I'll go to John first. Yeah. Hey, John. How are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me today?
Yeah, just fine.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. I was hoping I can maybe meet with you and Tomas afterwards and discuss the new the project I've been working on with the events and Hangouts.
Sure. Yes. Well, I think we could probably have there's not something in the Scrum, so we could certainly spend some time in the Scrum chatting it. I think probably neither Thomas or I have got a long amount of time to I can't throw an hour at you right now, but let's try and talk. And anything else to bring up in the Scrum in terms of things blocking you and plans and so on?
No, nothing blocking. No.
No. Okay. Good show. Let's go back to Michael.
Hey.
Yes. Hey. Yeah. What's up? If anything.
Not much. I just had commented on Friday about your pull request.
I think you sent a pull request
about signing in or something.
That fixed about signing in the local support channel.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your pull request, the email notification. I had sent I had left a comment.
Right. Yes. So this is local support.
Pull request 79.
Right here. Right. Yes. I think that there's a
so kind of
go
on. From part of your earlier comment, I had seen you said something like, if we couldn't be using the session list and actually updating the pending order directly on the user before it is even confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the mass assignment does, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably have to kind of get my brain back into this space. I mean, I've kind of spent what I have done. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it. Is I've written this article, 3 days ago or 4 days ago on the train. I sat down to review all of the cucumber scenarios and try and get them all sorted out and so on. And then thinking also about reviewing the underlying code, and that led me to end up writing this article here that I posted in Adventures, and yeah, so I'd be very interested. I guess having done that now, I will be tempted to go back and re-review all this and start. It definitely took 3 days, like, to get the article out. Time I could have spent doing the refactoring, and now I need to get back to the refactoring. So I guess I'll get back into that and take your comment into account. But did you have a chance? Did you see this article that I wrote?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, well, I posted the link into the group chat, so do check it out. Yeah, and are you free for pairing now around? What are your plans?
Only a little tiny bit of time, not really.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Chris has joined us as well. Hey, Chris. How's it going?
You're good.
All right. Anything to report? Anything blocking you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to deploy my topic branch of website 1 to Heroku.
Right.
And I'm having
these issues?
Issues with the database.
Right. Undefined method exclusions for event, etc. Yes.
I know what that is. That's one of the database migrations that I added in. That was accepted into develop a week or so ago. So you probably have to do a deep Heroku rake DB migrate or whatever it is.
Yeah, I tried that. It doesn't seem to be working. So I tried using rake DB schema load. That doesn't work either.
But you're getting this error on your local machine.
I fixed it locally, but I can't run that same sequence of commands on the Heroku instance because it doesn't let you drop the database.
Maybe you need to make sure that you have that migration that has the exclusions in it checked, pushed up, I guess. I'm not sure when you do a Heroku, the push to Heroku, does it take it from your local machine or a different repo?
Local.
Local. Okay, yeah. Make sure you have that on your local. Well, is it taking? Because if it's getting up to Heroku, then when you do the migrate on Heroku, it should be taking it. My guess is that it's not up there on Heroku.
Well, you could also on Heroku, you could be, rather than dropping it, you could be rolling it back. But I think I need to wrap up the Scrum. Chris, are you around and free for pairing going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So well, then it seems like, and I think John has some time. So maybe if it's that can be taken after the Scrum. Let's just do me. Yeah, I mean, Makers Today. Later on tonight, I'll just review the AV102 course to kick that off. Actually, interestingly, here at Makers Today, we're talking about open source badges and alumni from Makers actually having an official Makers Academy sort of challenge badge that you get awarded if you do submissions to an open source project. So that's hopefully we're always getting occasional people from Makers Academy coming in, but hopefully that will lead to some more. Yeah, I think those are the key things from me. One of the reasons also I sort of curtailed the discussion there between Chris and John is I know, John, you wanted to discuss, I've got a couple of minutes now. I don't know about how much time Thomas has got, but in particular, I guess my memory is that we were having trouble getting Thomas and yourself with time together. If you've got some time now, I don't know, how are you for time, Thomas?
Well, I'm on the bus right now, so and on my cell, so I have a few minutes. But
yeah, we have a couple of minutes. So we could just John, yeah, I think both Thomas and I have got a couple of minutes. Is there anything we can usefully discuss in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, I guess so. There are kind of a couple of issues. One is should we move ahead with user stories for this new I guess events interface, right? And the other issue is if so, it's like how do we break it up? I wrote up some I guess user stories, ticket items. In a document, I can post the link.
Oh, please do, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the other thing is how do we go about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, from my point of view, if you've got, I mean, I guess what you've just posted doesn't look so much like user stories, in as much as it seems to be. This is like a series of actions or things like
right. Yeah, when I discussed this with Brian on Friday during the Atlantic or the the America Scrum. Afternoon. Yeah, and he was suggesting that that I do take on, or that I write it up so that we take on kind of the infrastructure parts of it first.
That's yeah. I mean, I don't know the big picture here. At least from my point of view, the recommendation, like even if you are doing this, it's good to have the user stories written down in the Connextra format, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So that like it's clear for everybody, like the very high level.
Yeah, but the infrastructure ones don't really provide user value, and it's like, but it just makes like,
well, no, but
steps wouldn't really be independent of each other unless you got the infrastructure first. So maybe the first.
Well, no, but like any infrastructure change, even if the end user is not seeing it, if you don't have a user story that is like although it would be like, so the user story is like, user story wants to see a list of upcoming events. Right, and any infrastructure change that you're making ultimately has to support that high-level user story. So, I mean, there's, I mean, like at least on on local support, we've got things like refactoring the underlying geocoding so that we can do a full-width map, right? So there's a series of infrastructure chores or what have you that themselves don't have user stories, but they're then part of an epic, and the epic has a set of user stories. So it's kind of clear that, okay, this is the epic, that we want to have these high-level features, and then any individual chore. That's the danger with it. If you're saying like we just need this infrastructure change for its own sake, then it can be difficult to assess its relative merits against what exactly is it being, what's the end goal. If you're not clear about the end goal, then I think it's things become very subjective and open to interpretation. But do we have an epic? For some reason, Pivotal Tracker is loading extremely slowly for me at the moment. Do we have an epic in website 1 that corresponds to this?
Tomas, do you know what we have right now?
Yes, we do have an epic, and yes, we do have an epic, but we did not have I mean, we don't have user stories that corresponds to what John proposed in his document. That's one thing. The other thing is on I reviewed your spike, and I think you've done a great job, as I already stated once. But we're not fully in agreement. I'm not quite on the same page as you in terms of what exactly we want to achieve. Well, we want to achieve, yes, we're on the same page, but not exactly how we want to do this. So I think that we need to have a meeting where we go over step by step exactly what and how we want to work with those events and event series and hangouts and stuff. Because, for instance, just to I know that perhaps this is not a good place or time to discuss infrastructure, but the way hangouts are created right now are dependent on this application, being able to talk to website 1. And we noticed on Friday and today that the Hangout connection wasn't working, and thus we end up with at least two events or Hangouts that are not in our database right now. So we have to rethink the way we do those things and ask ourselves a question: do we really want to rely on this connection to be live for us to be able to store information about, at least basic information about a Hangout that has taken place?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just interject there, Thomas. Very frustratingly, I cannot pull up the Pivotal Tracker. I have got here the Pivotal Tracker for local support, and we can see that we've got our own events feature there and other things. It sounds like, yeah, you and John will need to have a separate discussion about infrastructure changes. Yes, what I would strongly recommend. Hold on a second, John. I just want to say what I would strongly recommend before you go into that conversation is that you agree on what the high-level user stories are.
Yes, and we do have some high-level user stories that are pretty well defined.
So if you have that and you agree on that, then it's a question of hashing out what the actual infrastructure is. Yes. That's between the two of you. Go on, John.
I guess two issues. One is, first, I put in a link to the Heroku app that I pushed up there that should work for you today. I don't know if you've had a chance to try it yet.
No, it was always 500 internal server error.
Right. Yeah. So it was broken until Saturday, I think.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to have to run now. I think maybe Thomas, if Thomas has another minute, he can stay with you. Is there something specific that you wanted to share with me, or maybe you can work things out with Thomas now?
I guess I'm wondering, where does Brian fit in also to this?
Oh, we need to sit down.
Well,
we need to sit down. You know, you, me, and Brian, and potentially Sam if he has the time. But it's really, for me, it's more important that the three of us sits down and talk about this and brainstorm some stuff, because you know, you working independently, you know, and me and Brian having discussions, you and Brian having discussions. This hasn't led to you know, us being on the same page whatsoever. You know, just let's settle. Let's set a time and a date and time.
Yes. So I mean, I guess what I would just say is that I think, and the bigger picture here that I think sometimes gets lost is that, you know, it's complexity that ends up killing all of these projects. I'm not a technical person in this project. I guess there's clearly questions about how the infrastructure is going to be evolved and refactored.
Christopher just killed Sam's audio.
I don't know why. But anyhow, yeah. Ultimately, it's what it has to come down to is that Thomas, as the kind of at least this is the way it works in Website 1, is that Thomas, as the overall project lead, needs to have a clear picture of how any new feature coming in is gonna or any refactoring, whatever, is gonna fit and impact the rest of the site. And yeah, so I'm thinking, you know, I don't know that. Well, obviously, necessarily, Brian is just another person who has been very closely involved in the project and can, you know, work out. You know, the idea ultimately is, you know, that you can work out together the best way to proceed that maintains the long-term health of the project. The danger is that for the purpose of achieving one thing, other aspects of the site or the system may fail. So anyway, I guess I'll stop the broadcast there for the Scrum. John and Thomas, I hope you can work out a time to meet. I would say, Thomas, even if it makes it difficult to meet with Brian, maybe just you and John can meet and discuss and have it recorded, and Brian can review later on. But yeah, I'll leave it in your hands to work out the best way forward.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So do feel like I'm talking. I've got to run now, but I'll catch you guys before long.